Now he's going to lose another position to Michael Waltrip in the 15th.
Out there by
A
himself.
lot like Jeff Gordon. He just doesn't want anybody chucked up underneath of him. It drives him crazy. He runs him up the racetrack.
Stewart's car was best at the start of this race when he took the lead and disappeared until caution brought the field to him.
His car has somewhat been up and down. He was really good at the beginning of the race, dropped the green flag, led some laps, got behind a little bit, then made it back to the top 5. Now he's losing some ground again.
And right behind him, Ricky Rudd, still a contender in that Rent-A-Center Motorcraft Ford.
There, I think a lot of that has to do with Tony Stewart being out front. Clean air. Nobody around me.
I tell you, a nice recovery, though. Last year's winner, Elliott Sadler, in that 38 M&M's car, it was not that many laps ago. He was just about to go a lap down. A lot of adjustments on that car as he stayed on the lead lap by Todd Parrott and that crew. He's up there in the 12th position, but feeling pressure from Jeff Burton in that 31 car.
And Burton's car much better than earlier in the day when he went a lap down and got the
trouble
free
down
pass.
here. Tony Stewart up high in turn 2.
Kaboom.
Another one of those engine failures. Big time explosion, and the caution is out. A lot of oil being laid down.
Yeah, he's on fire from the oil. He needs to get down and get that thing wound up. Right now, get out.
Yesterday, a hard crash for Stewart, not of his doing, right after the start of the race. And today, barbecue. 10th caution of the day as Tony gets out of there in a hurry. Still carrying it. It was his radio cord that was keeping him from making a quick getaway.
Well, you're inhaling all those fumes, so you got a lot of smoke in your eyes, and you don't know if the thing's on. You know it was on fire, and you don't know if it still is or not. You just want to get away from it. You need to bail out that thing, and he did.
Stewart led 45 laps today, but will not finish.
Well, DW, we thought we had our last pit stop coming. Now, this was in the middle of turn 1 and 2. You can see all the oil being dumped out the bottom onto the exhaust pipes. That is a engine explosion.
You see the turbulence behind the car. You see how that pulls that air up, the fire up around the back of the car? That's the same thing it does to the air.
The DW, it's been 20 laps since that last pit stop. We still have over 35 laps to go. I definitely think these guys hit pit road, but I think with 21 cars on the lead lap, we'll see some gambles here, Matt Yoakum.
Larry Mack, no gamble with the leader. What a way to bounce back. Last week they were 29th at Martinsville, their worst finish this season. Then they crashed during final practice, driving the California winner today. A good, solid, smooth stop. No major adjustments for Biffle, trying to score his second 500-mile victory of his NASCAR NEXtEL Cup Series career. He's down and away. Katie?
Well, the 42, Jamie McMurray, 2 tied off, so they're going down on the track bar. Don't need fuel, so they didn't get any, and they figured that would help them, Steve.
Small wedge adjustment for Kurt Busch. Jeannie, he said his car had gone to the loose side. Let's go to Dick.
Well, Casey Mears' team had not been able to beat everybody off pit road, particularly Biffle. He had not been able to beat Biffle on the racetrack driving, so they took 2 tires. They gambled, and right now, Casey Mears is the leader here in Texas.
Dick, most importantly, Tony Stewart is okay. He climbed up, walked to the ambulance without assistance, and Tony's all right.
But the real winner on that pit stop, we talked about Casey Mears, but his teammate Sterling Marlin, 11th position. There's the gamble, 2 right side tires only.
Worked last week. Got him up front last week, and he got a good top 10 finish.
And there you see Casey Mears, Sterling Marlin, the Ganassi car, the fastest time because they only took the time, a little bit of fuel, 2 right side tires only. Clean air now with about 35 laps to go.
And there is Chip Ganassi, open wheel and NASCAR team owner. He's had a lot of success both places. Early in the race, 5 Roush cars in the top 10. Now, all 3 Ganassi cars in the top 4.
Under caution, 34 laps to go. It's been a wild ride so far. Jeff Green with 4 cautions in the first 35 laps. And in this mishap at the Texas Motor Speedway, Bobby Labonte got into some trouble. Was out for a while, not feeling well when the day started. Back in the race. Meanwhile, Greg Biffle in a backup car, same as Casey Mears, who is your current leader. Biffle moves out in front. And more mishap. Robbie Gordon, problems later in the race. A spill. No last call here. The 9th caution, Casey Kane, who won the Busch race Saturday here at Texas, off turn 4 and out of the race as you get a look through Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car, and he does a nice job of avoiding more problems hanging in the top 10. Tony Stewart has led the 2nd most laps in this race just moments ago. Jeff Hammond guessing maybe a broken rod igniting an oil fire. Tony hopping out of the car, walking over to the ambulance, and was okay. This was with about 37 laps to go in the race. As you get a look at the Home Depot Gibbs car, Tony has to be thinking that really burns my backside when something like that happens. But Tony Stewart is okay with about 33 laps to go. Hey, you think this is exciting? Wait till next weekend. We'll be in Phoenix starting on Thursday. Busch practice, NEXtEL Cup practice follows. That's on speed. And then on Friday, Busch racing under the lights after qualifying for Busch and Cup racing. That's 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific from Phoenix. And the Duel in the Desert Saturday night on Fox, the Subway Fresh 500. Dale Earnhardt Jr. for the last couple of races in Phoenix. Should be an exciting time in high definition only on Fox. Fans looking on. Casey Mears in a backup car, as we mentioned, along with Greg Biffle, holding the lead at this point under caution. Let's listen in on his team communication.
Take 4. Them other guys behind us take 4. I'm not sure yet. I'll have to see how it shakes out there, but I know if you can get in front of him, you'll be gone.
What you were listening to right there, Chris, is that Casey was actually asking his crew chief, Jimmy Elledge, what went on behind him. He's leading the race. He wants to know who took on 4 tires, who took on 2, so he gets some kind of idea what the competition is kind of lining up behind him, has to offer.
First race led this season. Of course, Casey, the nephew of 4-time Indy 500 winner Rick Mears, and the son of off-road legend Roger Mears, hoping to make a name for himself here in Texas. Mike?
Tough break for Tony Stewart. 51 straight races in the top 10 in points. He may fall from there. As we get set to go, Chip Ganassi racing with Felix Sabates, 3 drivers in the top 4. But what about this strategy of taking 2 tires this late in the race?
I know Casey Mears in the 41 seemed just as good as Greg Biffle, but I think what Jimmy Elledge was thinking, you know what? We've been running behind Greg Biffle for all these laps. Let me put my car in clean air. I won't have to contend possibly with that inside lap car, Ryan Newman. 20 laps on my tires. They rolled the dice.
Greg Biffle will cut that thing to the bottom and blow his doors off.
Well, let's see, Darrell. 31 laps to go. Green flag in the air. Casey Mears, the Fujifilm Dodge, brings Greg Biffle, Jamie McMurray, Sterling Marlin, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Jimmy Johnson back down to turn 1.
Ryan Newman in the 12 car up there trying to get that lap back. Casey Mears running the high side.
Trouble. Blaney has spun and hit the wall hard. Turn 2. Caution is out. Dave Blaney brought out the first caution
They're just
today,
now coming off a 4.
and has now brought out the 11th yellow flag.
Don't have to worry about the 12 anymore.
He gets a free pass. He'll be back on the lead lap, so we'll have 22 cars on the lead lap now.
Now these laps
a little bit. I could try to keep somebody behind me. Oh my God!
That was Kurt Busch, I think. Oh, my God.
the more
Okay, we're
caution
NASCAR
laps.
on the lead lap, so we can pit right now, can't we?
Well, they're calling a quickie yellow, which means that all cars, lead lap or lap down, can pit this time by, as Blaney got off the track without incident or debris.
These caution laps help guys that only took 2 tires.
Darrell looked a little like Blaney might have been loose going in the corner and then might have gotten contact from Matt Kenseth.
Probably made some sort of an air pressure adjustment, thinking about a little short run here, not that many laps, and things spun around on him.
And just to update you, you talked about guys on 2 tires. We talked about the Ganassi cars, 3 of the top 4 right now. Casey Mears in the 41, Sterling Marlin in the 40 is the 2 cars that elected to go with just right side tires after that 20-lap run on their left sides.
The last win for Chip Ganassi in NASCAR was Jamie McMurray at Charlotte in 2002. He had just taken over the car from Sterling Marlin, who had been injured while leading the points. Marlin got injured, had to climb out of the seat, They hired McMurray from out of the NASCAR Busch Series. And in his third start, he went to victory lane at Charlotte.
I'll tell you something else that helps these guys that took 2 tires. They got to buff them in there that 1 lap. So that air pressure difference between lefts and rights will be a whole lot less now with just that lap on the tires.
But the one thing that I was learning talking to like Ray Evernham on Friday is these tires that we saw. Ryan Newman got the free pass. He gets 4 fresh tires. Is they don't like cycles. They don't like being heated up, cooled down, heated up, cooled down. For some reason, they give up a little bit when they do that.
We've talked about teams running up front. Both of the DEI cars are in the top 10. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Michael Waltrip currently 5th and 9th. Not since Loudon in last September have both of them finished in the top 10. Jr. was 3rd and Michael Waltrip was 9th. And we're now told that at the moment of caution, which is when NASCAR freezes the field, Ryan Newman was ahead of Casey Mears. So he gets to come around because the pace car picks up the leader, and that will make Joe Nemechek the lucky dog. He gets the free pass, and we'll be back on the lead lap. So once again, we'll have 21 cars on the lead lap. There's Nemechek. Declare your citizenship to the biggest NASCAR show to hit the air. NASCAR Nation, with special features like Beyond the Wheel, Home Base, and The Big Story. NASCAR fans can now stay closer than ever to America's biggest motorsport. To get Speed Channel, call 1-888-22-SPEED.
I guess Blaney could say, well, I started the day this way. I guess I'll end the day this way. Maybe they've been working trying to get back to the way they were when they started. And they did.
Dave Blaney around in turn 2 and in the fence. And he did have contact from Matt Kenseth. We saw a little damage on Kenseth's right front, but